Our RGB style, and we are very excited. As you can tell, we have lots of different adapters and connectors so that our wiring doesn't look like a rat's nest. We even have these waterproof. All of this is going to be in the description below. These are the headlights we went with, very basic style, but RGB nonetheless. So we are really excited because these have a control module and we're hoping that it works very seamlessly. Should be an easy install with some T-taps. So once Aline's done there, we'll go ahead and get her done.
Elbowing it out and we are done.
Looks like new.
Wow, that looks great.
All right, let's hop on over to the headlights.
Let's go.
On to the headlights, but before that, make sure to stay tuned because we are gonna do the DIY alignment with a tool from Vivor. Super easy to align your vehicle at home with this tool, and the link will be in the description below if you want to check it out.
If you haven't seen our previous video on alignment, we used to use push pins. Push pins no longer, we have a much better method. You okay?
Something pull my nose. Sorry.
All right, let's do the headlights.
Using a T10, you are gonna remove the factory headlights.
Who's happy that we got rid of the Angry Bird grill?
You are.
Headlights out, and look how disgusting this thing looks. This looks, what?
That is terrible.
What?
Absolutely terrible.
All right.
So one of the tips and tricks while installing LED headlights is as soon as you put it in, make sure to turn it on before you fasten it down so that you get the beam pattern correct. You don't want it pointing sideways one way or another. You want it to point directly, perfectly level. So go ahead and as you put it back in, plug it in.
And don't forget about adjusting its level so that you are not shining your headlight into the driver's in front of you.
Now, as you see, this one has two plugs. This is the regular headlight, high beam and low beam functionality right over here. And this is the RGB functionality. So we're gonna just go ahead and plug it in now.
Inspecting a stripped bolt. And it's out.
Wow, I'm already loving the difference. We're not quite there. Put the headlights. Wow. Awesome. And put the high beam. Wow. Beautiful.
If you didn't notice already, the headlights are missing the bezel that goes around that headlight. So we ordered some on Amazon. We'll put the link to that below. Greg's gonna start putting those in while I get started on the other headlight. Let's go. While I was taking out the screws, I snapped two of the spots where the screws come out of. It is old and brittle, so just be careful when you are undoing them. So we'll have to buy a replacement housing for that.
No problem.
Just things that happen when you work on an old Jeep, you guys. It's okay. For the sake of the video, Greg,
Oh my god. We're doing the unimaginable.
Which is?
Super glue. Say super glue failed.
Oh, here we go. Greg, tell us.
All right, super glue is no good, guys. Don't waste your time with super glue. We're gonna use some JB Weld. You don't need a lot. This is actually the JB Quick.
Whoops.
Time to mix. I guess you can call me an artist. Oh, what is that, Picasso? A lot of you wonder why I don't directly look at the camera. And it's because I look at my wife instead. So just leave me alone, huh?
All right.
Alrighty there, Hefeweizen.
All right. Let's get them capped and picked. What?
And just like that, like it never happened, this JB Weld stuff is pretty amazing. Why don't we go ahead and mount the headlight? So when wiring the RGB halo on these new headlights, we want to wire them to something that is fused. Otherwise, they're just going to stay on the entire time, no matter what, if you plug it directly into the battery. So we took apart this front turn signal here. We're going to use a blue T-tap down the middle wire, which is the parking light, so that we can connect that directly to the apparatus that allows us to RGB these headlights. Let's do it. Here's the other end of that T-tap that we were just talking about. We're gonna crimp on the male end onto this thing. And this is just the spare wire. Just make sure that's snug. Let's make it look professional. Put a bead of electrical tape on there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass this wire into behind this right side headlight. So just gonna fish it in. Go ahead and plug that in. Now for good measure, use some electrical tape and seal that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this loop end off using a wire cutter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the end. This is the positive. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the yellow wire that we just created. I'm going to give myself a little slack. I might eventually need to use this for something else. Strip the end. Give it a nice twirl. We're going to use these nice adapters we got from Amazon, where you basically thread the wire in and then you use a source of heat to kind of solder it together. So this is a waterproof. This is waterproof. Just make sure you align those copper tabs. Grab yourself a lighter or a heat gun and let it do its thing. So what I did next was I grounded it on one of these nuts over here. Very nice that TJ's come with that. And then as you see, I just taped this up with some black, with some of the electrical tape. And now we put our parking lights on and we're gonna see what kind of business we got ourselves into.
Who knows?
Is it connected? Oh, it is. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's super cool. You change the brightness. Nice. I like it. What do you think?
Looks great.
Looks cool. So why don't we continue? Let's see if this thing did the trick. I don't really know.
The JB weld held. That sounds like it rhymes.
I think they did that on purpose. That's too good to be true.
Now we're wrapping up the headlight to get back to the wiring. Greg is fishing the RGB cable through the back of the grill to get to the other headlight. Always have a handy bag, a zip tie's ready to go, and we'll zip tie that back there. Ooh. Wow, that looks sick.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I actually like the color.
I like the color too. So it looks like this kit was designed for a Jeep JK. So it comes with a bunch of extra wiring, like for the fog lights and whatnot. We're not going to use this. We could actually cut this off, but for now we're just going to leave it, zip tie it, and put it off to the side. Lucky for us, it's a 4-cylinder and it has tons and tons of room under the hood. So we're just going to zip tie this all, and then we're going to zip tie the wiring that goes across with the factory wiring, just so that it looks neat and tidy behind the grill.
These headlights look sick and the app works flawlessly. We have come across headlights that don't really have the app that works properly, but this one is from AM Off-Road, and if you're interested in them, we'll drop the link in the description below. Let's move on to the interior lights.
Let's do it! Do it, do it, do it. Jeep's coming together, Arlene.
2 more things, you guys.